Telltale Games has been known for making some of the best and most popular episodic games ever, but recently all of a sudden they're closing their doors, even with the powerful IPs that they have. So what exactly happened? It seemed like everything was going so great. Well, let's take a look back and see where it all went wrong. In San Rafael, California, former LucasArts employee Troy, Kevin, and Dan came together and founded Telltale Games in 2004. Their first game would be a card game named Telltale Texas Hold'em in February of 2005. They would continue on to develop other games, but needed angel investors. These are investors that put money into startup companies to build capital. Telltale found some investors from the private group named Kaister Form. They also wanted to acquire Sam & Max Freelance Police, but LucasArts denied this, although the creator of the series, Steve Purcell, gave them the green light. And with that, in collaboration with GameTap, Sam & Max Season 1 would release on October of 2006. Telltale would continue on with episodic story-driven games like Wallace and Gromit and Tales of the Monkey Island, to name a few. 2010 would become the pinnacle for Telltale Games, as their revenue grew by 90% from the year before. This is because Telltale was entering bigger waters and releasing popular titles of episodic games, like Back to the Future, Poker Night at the Inventory, Jurassic Park the Game in 2011, and in 2012, it would be The Walking Dead, which sold 1 million copies in only 20 days. And almost a year later, in January of 2013, they sold over 8.5 million copies and made over $40 million. They would also release Poker Night 2 the same year in April. Telltale would announce a partnership in 2015 with companies like Lionsgate to produce more episodic games. They also did it with Mojang to create Minecraft Story Mode, which would come out later in October of the same year. Even bigger titles like The Wolf Among Us, Batman, and Guardians of the Galaxy came through over the years. But problems began slowly arising from the company. For one, the CEO and co-founder of Telltale Games, Kevin Berner, stepped down from his position, quote-unquote. That same year, Telltale let go of 90 positions. But then just recently, they announced a deal that they were trying to make with Netflix for a long time for Stranger Things, but that deal wouldn't really go anywhere. And then Kevin Brunner would sue Telltale Games to seek recovery for damages. Most recently though, it announced that it would be laying off 90% of its employees and it would be closing its doors. So why exactly did all this suddenly happen? It had all of these deals from companies like Universal and HBO. And you'd have to be like an idiot to kill your company, especially when you're making tons of money. So, if you're not getting what's happening here, this is the reason, most likely, that Telltale is gone. Previous employees of the company have come forward to say that Telltale is not really the company that it used to be because it's expanded so much. It was described at first to be a closed team that worked together with good communication. But as games like The Walking Dead were becoming successful, it began expanding. A former employee named Andrew Langley described it as saying, "You walk around the office and you don't really recognize people anymore." There were even issues with organization. Another employee said, "People were shifting so often that you'd hear a version of a story that was actually weeks old." Basically, there was less attention to how well they could make episodes and more on how many episodes they can make. Which sucks because Telltale was doing really well. But the biggest issue is that there was no communication. It's almost like the company was split between two people. There was also the drama between Kevin Brunner and Telltale Games, both of them saying that they're bad. Telltale Games claims that Kevin's the reason that they're doing bad and now they have to fix his problems. He mostly wanted to put his ideas and not really listen to other people's ideas. And that was one of the reasons that he was replaced as a CEO. While Kevin's saying, as he said in the lawsuit, that now he has to seek recovery from Telltale Games, so it's just a mess. It seems like poor management and poor communication is the biggest problem that hurt Telltale Games. And because of it, it killed a ton of jobs and a company that actually made pretty good games. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.